Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video I'll give you my opinions about the Pixel 9 Pro XL after using it for 1+ week. In fact, I did a road trip of about 1500 kilometers with this smartphone. So for 5 days it was only on mobile data also, and yes, prior to that I used it normally, mixed Wi-Fi and mobile data usage. So I'll give you my impressions, and I thought of for doing the review slightly different instead of directly giving you the pros and cons. In fact, yes, at the end of the video, I'll also give you some of the negative things that I've noticed about this smartphone, but I thought that this review should be different, and I'll answer some of your actual user questions that you guys have posted. So sort of a FAQ and a review. In fact, I had already posted one video about this smartphone earlier, which actually captures 80% of the points about this smartphone. I made that video after using this smartphone for about 2 days. If you haven't watched that video, I suggest you watch that video. You'll get a good overview about this smartphone. But here, I'll be just answering most important questions, and later on in the end of the video, I'll also add some video samples that I took with this one, and also highlight some of the shortcomings that I noticed with this smartphone. But overall, I have to say this new Pixel 9 series has to be one of the best Pixel series that I have seen till date. And yes, it addresses one of the biggest problems that I had with Pixel and most users, that was the heating issues and the battery life. They finally solved with this one. In fact, the first couple of questions, as you can see, from various users. In fact, got a ton of questions like this from some, like you can see, network stability compared to others, previous model, heating, charging time, heating, 5G reception, and others. In fact, I'll tell you guys, I have been using this smartphone with my primary SIM, that is the Airtel SIM, and I didn't have any issues regarding 5G network reception. In fact, I traveled to various cities as I was on a road trip, and I have to say, my wife was actually having the Samsung Flip, the last year's model, and I would say in one area where the network reception was super low. Both of us had the Airtel SIM. This was getting minor signal, almost one small bar, but that Samsung had no signal at all. So I would say in terms of signal issues that we used to have with earlier Pixel smartphone has been solved on this smartphone, I would say. And also, biggest thing that many of you have asked is regarding the heating. Does it get warm in the pocket or something like that on mobile data? And I'm very happy to say that that is no longer the case. I was also super surprised. Initial test, first 2 days I was doing with mixed conditions, that is Wi-Fi and mobile data, and that it simply did not heat up. But even when I was on the road trip only on mobile data, where it was jumping between 4G 5G as I was moving, the handset did not feel warm while I was using, which is a big plus point. That was a major gripe with earlier Pixel smartphone. In fact, I would say in terms of heating, in fact, it did heat up even slightly less compared to the S24 Ultra, or even I was carrying the Xiaomi's 14 Ultra, I would say, in certain scenarios. So that way, I would say in terms of heating, finally Pixel has solved the heating. In fact, while using the smartphone just regularly, anything, it barely gets warm, I would say. So I think so the biggest issue that we had with almost every Pixel till now that had the Tensor chip was heating issue has been now finally solved. And that is why the battery life also that I'm getting on this one, even on mobile data, is spectacular, I would say. In fact, on the road trip, I was using the Android Auto Wireless, and if you have ever used Android Auto Wireless on any smartphone, you know how hot the smartphones get, and the battery drains like crazy. Yes, this was getting slightly warm, but it was not getting super hot. In fact, the other smartphones that I had, the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, etc., when I was using Android Auto Wireless on them, they became more hotter to touch than this one. So that way, I would say it done a great job. Also, in terms of battery life, I don't know how Pixel managed to do this, but the battery life even on mobile data is spectacular on this one. In fact, I would say it is even better than the S24 Ultra in terms of battery life. I would say the only, and yes, it was even better than the Xiaomi 14 Ultra that I was carrying in terms of battery life on mobile data. Only smartphone, I would say, among Android flagships that I have used might get slightly better battery life than this one was the OnePlus 12. But nevertheless, I would say battery life is terrific on the smartphone, even on mobile data. So you can expect anywhere from about 7 hours of actual screen on time to even about 9 to 9.5 hours of screen on time based on how I'm using the smartphone. So that is the biggest surprise that I got. Heating issues have been solved, and secondly, the battery life that we are getting is spectacular. Again, guys, this is regarding the Pixel 9 Pro XL. I also have the Pixel 9, but I didn't test this extensively. I will be doing that in the next couple of days. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Ranzi, and he's asking your comment on the camera when it's zoomed, coming anywhere close to the king of zoom, that the S24 Ultra. I would definitely say in terms of zooming, the S24 Ultra is not the king. And yes, this can go higher zooms like more than 30x, 40, 50x and all those things. This actually caps out at 30x. But just see this photograph. This was in Lonavala, from the place where I was staying. 1x, hardly visible, the lake, what is there. 5x, slightly visible. And this is with 30x digital zoom. And see how clear the picture is. So in terms of that ultra zooms, I would say this is doing a fabulous job, much better. The pictures are much more clearer than the S24 Ultra. In fact, I would only say that the Xiaomi 14 Ultra might be slightly better than this one in those zooms, because that smartphone, even when I was zooming around 40x, had that clarity. So yes, zooming, definitely I would say this is doing a very, very good job. And in terms of zoom, no, the S24 Ultra is no longer the king of zooms, I would say, in terms of clarity. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Sudarshan. Maximum portrait is it 3x or 5x, and how is the quality, especially at night time? Sudarshan, the typical thing about this one, this is something that I do not like. This is in one of my cons. We have triple camera setup. One is the regular 1x, again second is that ultra wide, and then we have the 5x. So there is no dedicated 3x zoom camera on this smartphone. And when you use the portrait mode default, it switches to 2x zoom, and you can drop it down to 1.5x. But I was able to force it to actually 3x in a way. For that, what you have to do is first go into the regular camera and put it on 5x, and then if you go to the portrait mode, it is going to 3x. But again, I felt that the portrait mode at 3x was not as sharp and something like that you can get with the S24 Ultra or the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, which have a dedicated 3x optical lens. So here I feel this is one of the cons that I've noticed with this smartphone. It's a big mess. If you're calling this a camera centric smartphone, they should have given a proper 3x zoom camera. Right now it's just using the 1x camera and actually zooming it digitally to get that capture. Yes, it is okay, it does the job till 2x, but again the 3x, that some sharpness or something that you want is sort of missing. It's trying to digitally enhance it, and you know what happens when you do that digital enhancement, of that blurring of your hair or something, that fine detail is not there. Nighttime also, again, obviously it will struggle a little bit. Moving to the next question. This is by Bhuvan. Any comment on the international warranty if I want to get the device from US? Would have loved to see the Pixel 9 Pro as well launching in India. Unfortunately, only the XL model is available. Bhuvan, to get an answer to this question, I in fact approached the Google India team, and I got an answer, and this is actually good news. I was also not expecting it. They said that you can buy these Pixel smartphones from internationally, and the warranty will be valid in India. So that's a big thumbs up. And they also said that the Pixel 9 Pro will be launching in India later on, but they did not specify the time frame later on. What does that later on mean? Is it next month? Is it like after 2 months or something like that? They just say, yes, it will be launching in India, but later on. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Malkeet. He's asking, how's the performance of the Pro XL? I have seen low Geek benchmark scores, and how does it hold up against the flagship in that price segment? Malkeet, yes, in terms of raw benchmarks, this will not get the really great benchmarks like the S24 Ultra or even the Xiaomi 14 Ultra that have the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 SoC. But in day-to-day usage, I did not notice that, because in terms of fluidity, it is very, very fluid. It's a better float phone, and that you don't get that jankiness or anything like that. So that way, in terms of day-to-day performance, regular performance, I did not feel that it was lacking it. But one place I really wanted to actually stress out the phone and see, does it make a difference. For example, let's say if you have actually shot a video on the smartphone and you use a tool like Handbrake or something to encode that video in another format or something, then there is a significant difference compared to Android smartphones coming with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Here I would say the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 goes ahead. In fact, this was slower by about 35 to 40%. So when you're totally taxing the CPU, running those kind of benchmarks or doing video conversions or something where the CPU is taxed continuously, yes, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 will go on. But in day-to-day usage, last 5 days when I was outside using the phone normally, not trying to do benchmarks or whatever, I did not feel that the CPU was underpowered. But if you're doing really CPU intensive task or something like that, yes, there the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 will be faster by about between 30 to 40% based on what task you are doing. Anyways, moving to the next one. Some of you have asked me, even in multitasking, do I feel any jankiness or anything? No, that is able to handle it. I did not face any jutterness or anything while multitasking or anything like that. In fact, RAM management is not an issue. This comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. This is by Arun. He's asking, how's the voice over Wi-Fi? Is it better than the 8 series? I did not have any problems with the VO Wi-Fi, that is called Wi-Fi voice over Wi-Fi. I am actually using it with my Airtel SIM, and to be frank, I did not have any issues with that. In fact, in terms of cellular call quality, I did not have any issues with this. The call quality was excellent on the smartphone. In fact, the new Pixel 9 series has a new modem compared to the older, Pixel range. So I didn't have any issues regarding network. But again, guys, I was using it with my Airtel SIM. I did not use it with the Jio SIM. I just want to be very clear about it. Okay, next question. This is by Wemo. Does the phone heat up while using the camera for long, or when using it in hot weather or any app that utilizes RAM? How is the heating issues? Heating issues are not an issue. I've got this question from quite a few of you. Does it record 4K videos for 20-25 minutes? Guys, let's be very, very practical. Even in outdoor sun, if I try to do that with the S24 Ultra or even with the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, which are camera-centric smartphones, they will fail. These are not dedicated cameras where you can record video footage continuously. Yes, regular footage, 4-5 minutes, 7 minutes like that'll be fine. But continuously, if you're expecting these smartphones to record 4K videos continuously, they will overheat. In fact, I'm shooting with the Sony camera. That's a 4K camera. I don't recall with the lens. This camera costed more than 2.5 lakhs, and this only job of this camera is to shoot videos. And in fact, if the AC is not switched on in this room, this camera, when I'm recording 4K video, after 25 minutes gives a heat warning. So you have to be practical about it. With regular 4K video footage, when I was shooting, moving in the car and all those things, snippets, I did not face any issues. But again, if I put these smartphones just like that in outdoor hot sun, even the iPhone, if you do that in the hot sun and put it in 4K videos, it'll give a warning and it'll shut off the video recording. These are not dedicated cameras, not to be used like that. Anyways, just want to be very clear about it. People have unrealistic expectations. This is by Harminder. Hi Ranjit, how's the speaker quality and battery life with 5G enabled on mobile data? As I've told you, the battery life was a big surprise in a positive sense. I was also not expecting that. So no issues regarding speaker quality is good. Typical, Pixel experience, good, has slight bass and depth also, and the stereo separation is also very, very good on it. So no issues regarding the speaker quality on this one. Next is by Mrs. Sarkar. He's asking, are you recommending this phone as a good primary option in India within this price range? Shankar, the phone is good. Finally, we have a Pixel that does not have the heating issues or the battery life issues which were plaguing the earlier Pixel series. So that aspect, I would say they have done a fabulous job. But I feel the Pro series in India are still priced. They should have been a lot more aggressive in terms of pricing. That's my frank opinion. But again, if you really wanted a Pixel and you are okay with that premium that is being charged in India, yes, you can go with this smartphone. This does not have that heating issues or the battery life issues that we actually have seen in earlier Pixel smartphones. And the build quality, etc., I have no issues also in that area. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Naga. He's asking, does the premium price justify, again a very similar question, justify the product and the Gemini AI premium? What about camera performance? Some reviews giving mixed reactions regarding comparing with the iPhone. I didn't compare it with the iPhone, but I did test it with the earlier Pixel 8 Pro that I had. And in fact, I would say in terms of camera, I did not see a big difference compared to the last year's Pixel 8, and I said that in my old previous video also. Again, watch that video if you haven't watched. So again, if you are expecting huge improvements compared to the Pixel 8's camera, that is no longer the case. I would say I haven't compared it with the iPhones, but again, as I'm telling you, that missing 3x lens, I would say, is a big miss in my frank opinion. If you are serious into photography and take a lot of portraits, the Xiaomi 14 and even the S24 Ultra have that 3x dedicated lens, which is actually used for portrait. In fact, on my Xiaomi 14 Ultra, which is my go-to camera smartphone, I use that 3x lens 90% of the time, and that is missing on the smartphone. 5x is something that you do not use always, so it has to rely on the primary 1x to do that enhancement to 2x or 3x. And again, when you're going to that around 3x, there is slight loss. It's adding that digitally, it is doing, but if you have that key 9, yes, there is slight loss. Anyways, moving to the next set of question. This is from Mr. Patel. He's asking, I've been using the Pixel 9 for the last few days. I saw some frame drops on Twitter and Instagram app on one occasion. I was using an iPhone 14 Pro. I can clearly see the difference. Mr. Patel, during that time when you saw that frame drops, did the battery fall below 20%? If so, I don't know why by default, when the battery falls below 20%, the Pixel goes automatically into the power saving mode, and there it actually drops down the animation level, etc. It does not use that 120 hertz. And I noticed, yes, when it fell below 20%, I also noticed that the animations were not smooth. This setting is enabled by default. I have now disabled it. Maybe it was that. Now I'm not noticing any jutters or anything. In fact, this is butter smooth in terms of Twitter scrolling and YouTube scrolling, which was not the case with the earlier Pixel 8. It had some jankiness. So I hope that helps. And this is from Mr. Nikhil. He's asking, does the Pixel 9 and the 9 Pro have vapor chamber cooling like the 9 Pro XL? If no, how is the heat management on that? Again, I got this answer from the Google India official, and I was also surprised. I was expecting that only the Pixel 9 Pro XL has the vapor chamber, but he told me that no, even the Pixel 9 Pro actually has the vapor chamber. In fact, all the Pro series, even the Fold, has the vapor chamber, but not the regular Pixel 9. I will be testing the Pixel 9 I'll move my SIM from primary SIM from this one to this one, so I'll use it for the next couple of days, and guys, I'll let you know. In fact, I used this for a day, and definitely this also heats up a lot less, I would say, compared to the older Pixel 8. But yes, this does not have that vapor chamber, so I will have to test it a little bit more with only mobile data and stuff like that to see how was the heating issue on this one. But again, even the regular Pixel 9 Pro and of course the Pro 9 XL all have that vapor chamber. Anyways, and this is the best script writer. Will you be trying and testing out the Pixel Pro Fold? I doubt, because Google India hasn't sent out the review on it of the Fold, and they didn't even mention that they might be sending it, so I doubt I'll be reviewing it. This is the last question. This is by Abhinav. Can I buy the Pixel 9 Pro XL only for vlog shooting? Yes, you can certainly do that because it has some enhanced modes like voice enhance and etc. while shooting the video and stuff like that. In fact, I shot some videos when I was on the trip. So here are some of the sample videos that I have shot. And after that, I'll also list out some of the cons or the shortcomings that I have noticed with this Pixel 9 Pro XL. Guys, I'm shooting the video with the front facing camera. I just got up, didn't shave and anything. And this is actually again in 4K that I'm recording. And Pixel has this feature called voice enhancement. I have enabled it. I'm near a waterfall behind this, so there might be a little bit of sound from the waterfall. But I'm using the speech enhancement mode. So hopefully I'm audible. What I'll do is I'll record the next clip without that voice enhancement, and let's see if it makes a difference. So again, guys, same conditions, but again, now what I have done is I have just disabled the speech enhancement mode, and you guys let me know if there is a difference because again, there's quite a bit of sound from that waterfall that is behind this location. But do let me know if I am audible or that speech enhancement did make quite a bit of a difference. Again, this was also recorded in that 4K option. Okay guys, shooting a video sample with this Pixel 9 Pro XL. I am, this is near Lonavala, and it's morning. Fortunately, there's a little bit less fog now that we are able to see this mountain. Let me see if I can just go directly to the wide angle. So yes, directly you can go to the bank, and I immediately notice a color difference. Let me again show you. Let's just go back to the 1X. As you can see, definitely the 1X was producing better colors closer to reality, but when I go to this ultra wide, the colors actually look very, very pale, at least in the video, as you can see. So this is, I wasn't expecting this one from Pixel 1X. Yes, I'm getting the good colors. And let's go to the zoom 5X. Yes, I could go to the 5X zoom also. And here also the colors seem to be good. But if you pan around quickly, focusing can be an issue. Let's just go back to the 1X now. Yes, this is the 1X. And I'll just try to just walk around. It is actually, I'm using the second level of stabilization, not the most aggressive. So walking, yes, it is avoiding those jitters. But color consistency, yes, in the ultra wide could have been better. I hope they genuinely fix this with an update, because this should not happen. So yeah, the good thing is that we drove from Hyderabad. The good thing is this, because it rained quite a bit, the entire stretch from Hyderabad till Pune and here totally green. There was no dry patch or something. So that way the drive didn't feel lethargic or anything. Now the fog is less. About 2 kilometers prior, the fog was so much that even that bus in front of me was not visible at all. Okay, now moving to some of the shortcomings. In fact, the first thing is the charging speeds. I have also mentioned about this in my first initial video, and I still feel that the charging speeds are on the slower side. The good thing is that the first 50% of the charge gets charged within 30 minutes, so that's actually nice. But again, if you're looking for the complete full charge, still this takes about 1.5 odd hours. Second biggest con that I have, again, Pixel is always touted, and their Pro series or the bigger series are always touted as the camera centric smartphone. So I just don't get the logic of not having a 3x zoom. Yes, you have given that 5x zoom, but 3x zoom practically is a lot more used than the 5x zoom. So I feel here it is having a slight handicap, to be very, very frank. Also, coming to the Tensor G4, I love it that they have solved the heating issues, and the battery life is also very well, and also they have optimized it like crazy this time. But in terms of raw performance, raw CPU performance, this is still about 35% to about 40% slower than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. So yes, Pixel is promising next 7 years of Android upgrades. But I frankly feel realistically, after about 4 odd years, considering the raw performance of the CPU, think in your mind that you'll use this phone for about 4 odd years, not that 7 odd years, because I doubt after that 5th year, the performance of the chip, how would it be with all the new advancements that we are seeing? Just my frank opinion about it. Next thing is, this is again a con again in the portrait mode. Still, sometimes if your hair etc., that blur edge detection is still not fixed, not perfect on these Pixel smartphones. And lastly, the Pro series are very expensive in India. Yes, I know you get that Gemini AI advanced 12 months of subscription with the Pro series, which is almost about 2,000 rupees per month. And yes, you get the Gemini Live, so you can just talk to the smartphone and give you the answer. In fact, I gave a demo in my first video that I made, and that works very well. But to be very frank, after that demo or whatever, I haven't used it, that Gemini Live feature, till now in the last 5-6 days when I was traveling. So unless you are a very hardcore user of the Gemini Advanced, you really don't need that Gemini Advanced, I would say, for general casual user, because by default you do get the regular Gemini, and I would say for the regular stuff that you are doing, that even the Gemini Advanced is actually good enough. So this was my frank opinion and a FAQ video about the Pixel 9 Pro XL. If you still have any questions, do let me know. I'll be starting testing the Pixel 9. So again, stay tuned to my channel, and I'll try to post a video on this after testing it for the next couple of days. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.